Souped up Chevy, wanna rock steady, 'cause baby, that's what we do.
We're sitting with Chad Brownlee today. Chad, thanks for doing this. Chad's got a new album coming out, and we're gonna just do a quick conversation on the new album. So, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You got a new album coming out. Do you have a set date yet?
April 29th.
April 29th,
Yeah.
6 days after my birthday.
Nice.
So
we planned it around
Yeah,
that.
of course,
Yeah.
of course.
It's just a late birthday present.
Maybe tell us how this one's a little bit different than the Fighters.
Yeah, each record has kind of had its own thing. It really is an evolution of me as an artist and as a songwriter and as a person, you know, and it really comes out in my music. But this one, I think there's even a little bit more maturity to this record than even in the Fighters. In my writing, in the songs that we've selected for it. So like everybody says in the new record, I'm extremely excited, and I really am, because I think it really is, it's the next bar for me.
Okay, so you mentioned that you had some songs pitched. You've written a few yourself. When you were in that writing process, you said you matured. How do you think that happened, or that process?
Yeah, life happened. I had a bit of a tough summer, personally, and on the music side of things. Just more on the back end. I have a certain level that I want to achieve, and just didn't feel like I had that. So there was this real big wave of motivation that was inside of me. I knew I had to go write shortly after some of the events in my life, and it came out that way as some of my best writing that I've ever done. Because I had such a well of emotions to draw from, I feel like it really does help your creativity, and it was the best writing that I've ever done in my life.
So usually people, and I'm going to jump to something, usually people have a tour to follow an album release, but you're kind of tailoring it right at summertime, so it's festival season. That's kind of, what are you looking to for this summer in the festival side?
Yeah, just bringing the best show that I possibly can, and these songs on the new record are going to help really amplify the live show. There's a couple songs with some really good energy and a little bit of grit to them, so they're going to be a lot of fun, and just to see how they go over in the festivals.
That's a really good thing to say. You know, when you're writing an album, do you think about that for your live show side of things?
Absolutely.
Like, you know, you want to make sure, well, I'm going to slow it down a little bit here, and then I want to ramp it back up. Is that really, when you wrote the album, is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah, I think every song that I write, I try to envision playing it live. And if I can't envision playing it live, then it's probably not a good option to put on the record, because that's a big part of any artist's career, especially in country music, is getting out on the road and playing shows. And if you can't picture singing that song in front of thousands of people, then it's probably not a really good choice. But yeah, I like to bring a dynamic at the same time to my shows, where there's some rockin' songs, we'll bring it down a little bit, but I always like to ramp it up near the end. And there is that exact dynamic on this record.
So Hearts on Fire, your current single, you just did it as a Mason Jar session. You're probably going to break top 10 next week with that song. How did that song really come about for you? And, you know, what does it mean for you?
Yeah, Hearts on Fire, actually, it came about very organically. I was down in Nashville, and I was watching my buddy Eric Dillon play a show, and he sang Hearts on Fire, and it absolutely blew me away. And I talked to him after the show. I said, what are you doing with the song? He's like, I was on a past record, I didn't really do much with it. It's like, can I have it? Because I feel like I can make the song my own. It feels like a song I would have written for myself, and when I sing it, it just locks in. And he was more than happy to say yes, use it, release it, and it's been a really huge single for me.
So you play a really big role in the Tim Hortons Foundation. What does that, I mean, you flew across Canada, I think it was 2 summers ago, you know, in support of that. What does that foundation mean to you?
Well, it means a lot, because I see the impact that it has on these kids. I've gone to these camps and seen from day 1 to day 10 in these camps who they become. A lot of them, they come from economically disadvantaged families, so a lot of them aren't eating 3 meals a day, don't have the opportunities, aren't surrounded by peers that possibly will uplift them and give them confidence. So these camps surround them with those peers that really kind of help them find who they are. And I think that's huge with kids at that age, because they're essentially our leaders of tomorrow, and it's really important that we give them a fair start. So that's why I supported the foundation. You know, I come from the sports world, and I learned so much from being in that kind of team atmosphere. And that's definitely what the foundation brings. So it's just an incredible thing for these kids.
Well, you do a really great job at doing it, so congratulations on all that hard work. Social media, I know we've discussed this before. With a new album coming out, you know, it tends to be, you lean on, you know, your fans, you want to get information out, shows, all that. How do you really deal with social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? How do you like to use it?
Yeah, it's definitely a great tool. I mean, I'm pretty fortunate to be in an era where we can type 140 characters or post a picture and it goes to thousands of people instantly. So we're very fortunate in that aspect, and to use that to let people know about your shows and upcoming albums and all that type of promotion, it's great. So, but for me, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. You find yourself always looking at your phone. It's just like, turn this thing off, get it out of here. But it's also great too, not just to get things out, but I feel to understand your fan base too, and to hear their voice. It's not just about you giving the fans your voice. It's about listening to what they have to say too. And I think if you understand your demographic, it's only going to help you in what you want to say and what you want to post.
Cool. Well, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it.
Anytime, Corey. Thanks, bro.
Right. Chad Brownlee, check out his new album, April 29th.
I